and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Ritu Singh and with me is Arundhati Ramanan. Here are the top headlines from the startup space. Coffee shop chain Third Wave Coffee lays at least 10% of its employees across various verticals. This just after raising $35 million from Creaegis in September. Employees across teams such as tech, finance, marketing, business development and app were fired.
MPL-backed fantasy platform Striker is shutting down its operations. The company is the latest casualty of the government's 28% GST regime on the real money gaming sector. Sources tell CNBC-TV18 that one of its co-founders, Krishna Mohan Vedula, has also exited MPL.
Hero MotoCorp will buy an additional 3% stake in Exponent Energy for 140 crore rupees. The transaction is expected to be completed by January next year. The deal values Exponent at 4,662 crores, which is a markdown of 24% from last year.
Ola CEO Bhavish Aggarwal forays into the artificial intelligence space, launches what he claims to be India's first full-stack AI solution called Krutrima. The chat GPT-like model is built on local Indian knowledge, languages and data. Bhavish Aggarwal says the AI model was built in 7 to 8 months. That's a CNBC-TV18 exclusive.
Revenue growth concerns are keeping most startup founders up at night. This according to Elevation Capital's Founder Pulse report. Now, apart from revenue growth, high burn rates, hiring, fundraising and longer sales cycles are the other concerns.
U.S. Federal Communications Commission grants authorization to Elon Musk's SpaceX to run tests for its direct-to-cellular system. This comes after the FCC reaffirmed its 2022 decision to deny SpaceX's satellite internet unit $885.5 million in rural broadband subsidies.
All right, so those are the headlines that we're tracking for you this Friday evening. Now, Ola CEO Bhavish Aggarwal has entered the artificial intelligence race. He has launched what he claims to be India's first full-stack AI solution called Krutrim AI, which is a Sanskrit word for artificial. The chat GPT-like model is built on local Indian knowledge, languages, as well as data, which is proprietary and otherwise. Now, Krutrim, which is trained on more than 2 trillion tokens, plans to cater to both consumers and enterprises as well over a period of time and will launch a pro version by next quarter. The company will launch the early access program starting today with the open release slated for February next year. Now, Ola plans to use this across its group companies for sales, service, support and other processes as well. In an exclusive chat with us, Aggarwal said that work on this new company started this year itself with financial backing coming from friends and family. Listen in. Bhavish, thanks very much for speaking to CNBC. Just tell us when you started work on Krutrim, because this has come up quite quickly, and how large is the team? Who's funding the company?
Ritu, thank you so much for coming over. And Krutrim was born earlier this year, so it feels like a overnight thing. But we've been hard at work for more than about 8-9 months. And our ambition and our mission here is to really build AI for India. And AI is going to be such an important force for the economy in the future. Our Prime Minister has a vision to build a Viksit Bharat and an AI-first economy, which he articulated earlier this week. So we are really looking forward to building AI models which truly belong in India, are trained on Indian data sets, are more relevant for Indian cultural values, and also build the computing stack below the models, the silicon, the infrastructure, to really be able to deploy AI for every Indian.
So how large is the team going to be? How large is it currently? And you said you're going to be hiring aggressively. What are those numbers?
So we have a couple of hundred people already in this company. We have a world-class team. We have a team based here in Bangalore and in the Bay Area. So we have 2 offices in Krutrim. And we are hiring aggressively. We are hiring, if you are an AI person, please write to me, Bhavish at olacabs.com or Bhavish at olakritrim.com. Please write to me.
Well, just give us a sense of what kind of investment you're making in the company, because, you have your Ola business, you have the EV business, and now you have artificial intelligence.
See, Ola is, in the Indian context, a joint family, with multiple businesses all under the same roof in the sense. So we have the ride-hailing business, which is doing really well. We have our electric business, and we have Krutrim now. And with Krutrim, we have funded it myself and through some friends and family. and we are looking to really invest whatever it takes to build Indian AI. So,
You must have some number in mind. How much have you already pumped in the last 6 to 8 months that you've been working on it? How much more in the near future?
well, we won't be sharing the number today, but in due course we will tell you more about the investments, and we are willing to invest whatever it takes to build Indian AI.
Some of the critics may say, and if I may play the devil's advocate, are you spreading yourself too thin? You have the Ola business, which is yet to post profits. You have the electric vehicle business, which is just starting to, go up on its feet. And now you launch a new company.
Well, thankfully the finances that you mentioned are not really in the public domain, so I know the real finances of either companies.
Please share.
I can't share them with you right now in public camera. But we at Ola believe that this is India's next 2 decades, and we are the youth of India. It's our destiny and it's our journey to really build India into a Viksit Bharat, like the Prime Minister has said. And our efforts are not going to be limited into one domain. We are going to do whatever we can to really marry technology, business, and entrepreneurship to really build future paradigms for India. And that's what, in some ways we are a कर्म योगी company. इसी कर्म में ये हमारा धर्म है और इसी कर्म में हम लगे हुए हैं.
Final question, a lot of big Indian conglomerates like Reliance and Tata are partnering with the likes of NVIDIA to build supercomputers. When you say you're going to build the first Indian supercomputer, are you going to beat them to market? I understand your idea, of course, is this is wholly India-made.
See, we, like I mentioned in the event also, we are also partnering with the whole ecosystem, including other semiconductor companies. But in addition to that, we are also building our own chip design, because eventually for India to build AI is not, the model is actually just the soul. The body is still the chip and the infrastructure. So for India to be really globally competitive in it, we have to build both the body, mind, body and soul. All have to be built. And तभी हमारे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना योग में mind का भी बहुत हिस्सा है और body का भी बहुत हिस्सा है. So AI models will be built and the silicon and infrastructure also will be built.
Are your investors as excited as you? I just wanted to understand, you said friends and family are investing in Krutrim. Any of your existing investors backing you in this venture?
Most of my investors are my family only.
Do elaborate.
No, I think that's all I have to say on this topic.
All right, Mr. Aggarwal, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Startup funding in India hit a 5-year low in 2023, but that is not the only concern for the ecosystem. Indian startup founders see revenue growth as the biggest concern that's keeping them awake at night. This, according to a survey with over 250 founders across stages and sectors. However, they still believe that it is the best time for startups in India. Akhil Vishwanath joins us now with the key takeaways of the report. Akhil?
That's right. Revenue growth is what's keeping up most startup founders up at night. But that's not all. According to a report by Elevation Capital, new age entrepreneurs are also losing sleep over cash burn, hiring, fundraising, and longer sales cycles. Now, sectorally speaking, consumer-centric startups are laser-focused on curbing cash burn. B2B SaaS operators are more concerned about longer, tougher sales cycles, and regulatory curveballs are keeping those in fintech on their toes. Now, we know that 2023 has been all about leaning into efficiency, and the report confirms it. 2 out of 3 founders have reduced their monthly burn rates over the last 1 year. Among these, half have managed to lower their burn by at least 30%. And predictably, marketing is what has suffered the deepest cuts. Now, this focus on reducing cash burn has, of course, enabled several startups to survive the funding winter and get on the path to profitability. Nearly 60% of the founders aspire to be profitable in the near to medium term, while 18% state that they have already hit the milestone. And also, one of the key takeaways from the report is also that the number of profitable unicorns has surged from 27% in 2021 to about 35 to 38% in 2023. More unicorns are expected to turn profitable within the next 12 to 18 months. On the funding front, we know that venture capital investments have hit a 5-year low in 2023. And 7 out of 10 founders said that it's definitely hard to raise funds right now. But half the founders expect fundraising to become easier in the next 12 months. It will have to, because 1 in 3 startups is operating with a runway of less than 12 months. But to end with a positive note, 6 out of 10 founders believe that there will be more IPOs of venture-funded startups in the next 5 years compared to the previous 5. And this optimism is ringing the loudest among late-stage founders. Back to you.
All right, Akhil, many thanks for those details. But on what's brewing today, EV tech startup Exponent Energy has raised $26.4 million in a Series B round led by Eight Roads Ventures, including a strategic investment from TDK Ventures, marking their first investment into India's EV sector. Along with two new global investors, the round witnessed participation from all existing investors like Lightspeed, Yonest VC, 314 Capital Advantage VC, and the family office of Pawan Munjal, the executive chairman of Hero MotoCorp. Now, the 3-year-old Bengaluru-based startup has raised a total of $44.4 million so far. Joining us now to discuss the fund allocation plan is Arun Vinayak, the co-founder and CEO of Exponent Energy. Arun, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. You know, you launched about 3 years ago and came up with a way to deliver 15-minute rapid charging for electric vehicles. Talk to us about the demand that you've seen and how has it been working so far?
Thank you so much for having me today. So Exponent's been around 3 years. Year one, we were just focusing on technology. We were in stealth. Year two was making that a product. And we're still in the lab, productizing all of that, getting the partnerships in place. And actually last year, when you had me on here, we had just raised a Series A. And we were just starting the whole transition of taking everything from the lab to the road. And last year's been fantastic. We just chose one segment in one city. So we chose three-wheeler cargo in just Bangalore. And we said, let's see how this works and let's see if customers love the offering. And I think demand's been awesome, and which is what's led to now the Series B, so that we can now scale up supply chain, scale up manufacturing operations, scale up network operations in multiple cities, and of course, look at more categories beyond just three-wheeler cargo.
Right. So it's given you the confidence to now move beyond what you're currently doing. So in fact, my next question was going to be, how do you plan to use the funds? Obviously, expansion and diversifying your offerings is on top of the agenda at this point.
Definitely. Like I said, I think we're building tech that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. Even cell phones don't charge in 15 minutes, and we're charging entire trucks up in 15 minutes. So this is India's time to lead. And so when you're building such tech which have no global benchmarks, you want to take it slow, you want to test it out, you want to ensure it's stable, it's working well. Every new technology has tweaks, has niggles, you got to sort of iron it out. So now we feel ready. We're now there at a point where we're very stable product that we can now quickly replicate into multiple categories. So a large part of the fund allocation will be towards expanding our business side operations, network scale in multiple cities, in the business operations in multiple cities. And on the other side, we're also investing in entering the R&D space for the bus, right? So while today we're only in the three-wheeler last mile space, we're going to be investing heavily in the intercity bus operations, where we're going to be able to scale up a battery to ensure a bus charges up in 15 minutes. So you can go from Bangalore to Bombay and charge up maybe a couple of times on route.
Absolutely. So, beyond what you're currently doing, as you were saying, you're also looking to enter the E3-wheeler space as well as this e-bus segment. So what's the action so far on that front? How different is the technology when it comes to, these other vehicles, and how long till you actually start doing this?
We're already in three-wheeler cargo space, so we're leveraging fundamentally the same product, the same battery, the same network. So as we look at the three-wheelers of business, it's now in the operations and business half of the company, right? The bus, of course, is now in the early R&D phase. We're sort of where we were in the three-wheeler last year on the bus. So you'll see us launch the bus, so maybe as a pilot program sometime next year, while three-wheeler now is fundamentally in a scale, ops mode.
So three-wheeler is all about scale at this point, and your bus segment is going to be something new for you all to touch. You also want to scale your on-ground network presence across categories and cities, as you told me earlier. So currently you're in one city. So where do you hope to be in the next 1 year? Which new cities do you think are you going to enter? And will all of these be via partnerships with OEMs, or how is this going to work?
Yeah, we are an energy company. So fundamentally on the vehicle side, we do partner with OEMs. Like I said, we've been in the three-wheeler cargo space. We have now partnerships coming up. We've announced some of that already in the three-wheeler passenger space. Like I said, from the battery point of view, it's fundamentally the same. The network point of view, it remains fundamentally the same network, the same set of charging stations that cater to multiple segments, right? So that's how we sort of also build up utilization and build up profitability in the charging network. So how
many cities will you be in by next year?
So we'll be in 6 cities, phased out next year, and we're in Bangalore right now, so we're going to be in Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad.
All right, and what about revenues? Where are you currently at, and what are the targets for this financial year at this point?
Well, right now, in one category, one city, we're roughly at $3 million annual revenue on just battery sales. we're now building up our charging revenue as well. And of course, the next 24 to 30 months, we're targeting 25,000 vehicles across 6 cities and 3 categories. And that should get to a place of 600 crore of revenue.
All right. And you also have a target to deploy about 1,000 e-pumps so that you have, that target of 25,000 Exponent-powered EVs by 2025. So how do you plan to do this, and where are you currently on this front?
Right. So something that we've proven, I think the last 1 year was proving the fundamentals, right? Scale can happen. India is a large enough market, right? But what we've been working on the last 1 year is proving the fundamentals on the vehicle side, proving the fundamentals on battery manufacturing, proving the fundamentals on network. If you look at the network, we have 30 locations in Bangalore, but 25 of them are franchisee owned, right? Why? Because our charging stations make money. With 15-minute rapid charging on the same piece of land, we charge 30 to 40 vehicles a day. As against most other charging stations that do roughly 2 or 3 vehicles a day. Right, so we fundamentally fixed the profitability aspect of charging networks, and which is why we've seen a lot of franchisee interest, and that's how we will scale. So when we're entering Delhi, we already have now a master franchisee partner who's setting up 25 locations in one shot. So when we were less of a brand and we're starting off, there was more apprehension. But as we've proven this out in Bangalore, we're now seeing a lot of appetite in multiple cities for people to partner up with us to scale this network up.
All right, seeing a lot of appetite there for your product. All right, Arun, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We're out of time, but we wish you all the best on this journey going forward.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so that was Exponent Energy, but time now for a short break. Up next, planning a wedding? Well, you can call Party Cruisers to make your dream wedding a reality. We'll tell you all about this company on the other side of the break.
CNBC-TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence. CNBC-TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence.
Indian weddings are known for being larger-than-life affairs, and the pioneers to the transformation of the Indian wedding and the event industry are the husband and wife duo of Juicer and Rachna Lakhnawala, the founders of Party Cruisers Limited. Founded in 1994, Party Cruisers listed on the Emerge platform of the NSE in 2021. I am at the Party Cruisers office in Mumbai, and with me is the founder of Party Cruisers, Juicer Lakhnawala. Thank you so much, Juicer, for joining us on Startup Street. You've been organizing wedding and events for almost 30 years now. Tell us, what's Party Cruisers' USP? How do you provide your clients a hassle-free experience? And most importantly, it is a highly fragmented industry. So how are you, catering for the needs, wishes, wants, and aspirations of all your clients?
Thank you for having me here first on CNBC. The whole USP, I think, how we play it is that we have divided this whole company into different brands, which means verticals in such a way that if a client wants a one-stop shop, we are that go-to company where he gets the one-stop shop.
Okay.
A lot of that one-stop shop also is in-house, which makes it a lot more cost-effective for the client, and it's value for money.
It's value for money. That's the most important part that we'll also delve into. But Juicer, like you mentioned, you've divided into verticals. If you could elaborate each one of them, what distinct purpose each one of them serves, and help you basically create those awe experiences.
I'll start with our flagship brand called Viva, which basically does high-end decor for clients. Then we have another brand called Wow's Vachan, which is segmented into two parts. Wow does an entire turnkey curated event, whereas Vachan does decor for middle class and upper middle class. As you know that in a peak day where there are 100 weddings, 5 are HNI, super HNI, 15 are HNIs, and the remaining 80 are middle class and upper middle class. So that's the target audience that we're trying to achieve with Vachan.
Okay.
Then we have a third brand called Event Factory that specializes in corporates end-to-end. It's been one of our oldest brands. We have great companies like the launch of the McDonald's, the Pfizer, Lion King movie, MTVindia.com to our credit. We have a fourth brand called Lifespace, which we are kind of in an initiation stage. We are trying to redevelop it into a talent management company. We have another brand called Venue Affairs, where we are basically offering an opportunity for clients to route and help us find venues, because that essentially is one of the primary requirement for any social wedding or corporate event. And we have another brand called PEP, which is an entrepreneurship brand. It's called Partnership Entrepreneurship Program, where we try and get people who have the ability to become entrepreneurs, but lack of funds and infrastructure and availability of people. We are offering that opportunity to smart people who can become entrepreneurs.
Tell me, what are the new trends that you're seeing? What are people looking for, the must-haves?
Big weddings are still happening. Thanks to the COVID, a lot of international destinations slowed down, which now they have picked up, but it slowed down for a bit, which means our country opened up new doors in different parts of India, which resulted in doing national destination. Intimate weddings have become a big thing. People are now looking at more quality intimate weddings. Not that the spend is any lesser, but I guess people are now not looking to do big weddings. But I do think it is the way of the future. While big weddings may happen, that will slow down in terms of numbers. The intimate weddings will grow constantly.
Okay. All right. Now I have some fun, quick questions for you, and I need you to answer them quickly. So the first one, the biggest challenge while organizing or executing high-profile weddings?
Very finicky clients.
Yes, that's number one.
Very.
Do you see recession creating a dent in the business as far as global weddings are concerned?
One thing is very clear. Even in COVID, when everything was shut, 25, 50 people weddings were still happening.
Yeah.
There's a new concept called people are now starting to marry now, pay later. They're all looking to do an EMI, and there are finance companies that are willing now to come on board, offer EMI facilities to especially the upper middle class and upper class of segment of the industry, salaried people, So I wouldn't say recession is going to hit us. Yes, the competition has increased, which means we need to be upping our game all the time.
Your most memorable or out-of-the-box wedding that you organized?
We did one under the sea.
Okay.
That was fabulous. we did one tomato haldi festival. You know, it was that was
Instead of haldi, you're throwing tomatoes at each
that's
other. Yeah.
outstanding.
Final quick question is, you've already collaborated with a lot of OTT players, sharing the experiences on the big day. Are you looking at more collaborations?
We were talking to one Los Angeles agency also. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for whatever logistics issue they had. But yes, we are looking forward to OTT platforms. Educate the audience. Actually,
Yeah.
the OTT will educate the audience. Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up our conversation, it's going to be 30 years for the Party Cruisers. Take us through your expansion plans. What's in the pipeline? Give us a sneak peek of your future projects.
Number one, presence pan-India, north, south, east, west. That's a given. Besides pan-India, we also want to look at international market. We have Dubai as the hub, which is going to be our headquarters for the Middle East. And yes, UK's, Southeast Asia, places where there's a entire audience of NRIs as well as local audience, which also spends a lot of money on weddings nowadays. That's the way hub, and that's the way we're looking at growing.
So the aim is to be the global go-to destination for weddings.
We should be available in every nook and corner.
Okay. How soon?
I would think by March 2025, 26.
All right, that's close.
We should
Okay.
be.
Thank you so much for your time, and wish you the very best for all your expansion plans.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you very much for having me.
CNBC-TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence.